And good morning. It's your favorite and friendly neighborhood Tironan. We're going to be flying the skies of Albion tonight, and we're on the Axis side for once. For some chance to get some improved loot and to uh, show you different aircraft. We're going to do that. We'll be flying this aircraft exclusively tonight. I have taken the time to fully upgrade the aircraft. It's now airspeed is now 350. I do have the aircraft polish on it, which will give me a 25% dive speed and 5% on the top speed. Self-sealing fuel tanks because I had them, and a reinforced airframe. Some of you are going to ask why I didn't get rear turret stabilization, and the answer to that is simple. The rear turret on this is so poor at 46 that 48, excuse me, that I'm not going to really bother with it too much. Just don't see 15% all that needful, especially with my gunner isn't going to be able to take advantage of it. So that's the decision. As always, I encourage people to say, hey, this is the build that I use. It's much more successful. I'll share it with the group and credit you. We're not shy about that either. All right. We have not, I'm going to backtrack a little bit and say until we get 3,588 points, we're not going to have the engine available. As soon as we do, we'll put that on there. And we'll be flying this tonight because I want to get to the Zwilling, or twin, as quickly as possible. My P-51 is now upgraded to the point where I have one engine upgrade left to do. As soon as I get that done, I'll have that video out. I would suspect that will be sometime tomorrow, but we'll see.
You are approaching the area of combat operations. Be ready.
Plans do change and as necessity arises. All right, we now have a 30 millimeter gun and 4 rockets, which if the 30 millimeters are the same as the normal aircraft, that's not going to be a great GA aircraft, but I'll launch my rockets and take a few swipes before returning to my heavy aircraft role, heavy fighter role. Just enjoying a bit of coffee here while I talk to you folks. I certainly have enjoyed the aircraft far more than I thought I would. I've gotten more comfortable with heavy fighters as time has gone on. And this looks like the straight line configuration. We have no other bases but the 3 here, so we'll see where everybody goes. Being alone Charlie doesn't help a whole lot. Alright, so my evaluation is the best thing I can do here is launch my rockets and get back up to altitude. And we will get back up to speed here, take a run at this fella here. Got 1,000 combat points, but I really don't know why. And this thing has fairly bad maneuverability, but compared to most ground attack aircraft, it's just fine. You notice how fast it is taking this IL-2 apart. And if you want to know why I have such a burning fever in my heart for taking apart ground attack aircraft, the answer to that is very simple. When they run out of ground attack aircraft, they run out of the ability to influence the battle anymore. Go ahead and deploy our fire extinguishers, try to stay alive a few minutes longer. That's not looking great.
The enemy is trying to capture the plant. Don't let them do it.
If I sound like I'm not the least bit perturbed by that, I am not. We have gotten something nice accomplished here. And a lot of the ability of the enemy to take that plant got diminished as well. Now they'll promptly respawn, and we'll have to deal with that, and that's just fine. But you'll notice in that very short amount of time that F4F, it went to lost most of its health. Probably 60% of it. Now, with most fighters, if you don't get the results you want with your angle, then you close in on the guy's tail, and that's the end of the discussion. Well, that's great, but in heavy fighters, you often don't get that chance. So you have to make best use out of any angle you get and take them out accordingly, because they are not going to get the opportunity to always do that. Looks like we crashed. Alright folks, we'll get back into the game as quickly as I can, and I do apologize, but this is not a problem with my system. It's a problem with World of Warplanes and the skies of Albion. So we'll pop right back in.
Be advised, the enemy is concentrating forces near the airfield.
Hopefully we didn't crash or get destroyed, but I have, yeah, we did.
Get ready for battle. Good luck.
That's death by system.
All positions are captured by the enemy. You must turn the tide of the battle. They've almost got us.
Well, that's unfortunate. A whole heck of a lot I can do about it, but that's unfortunate. Luckily, our rockets seem to be particularly destructive. Well, why, I haven't got a clue. But that's what we have.
You've done what you could. Go back to base.
Well, I guess I could apologize for that performance, but I just refused to. I think I did about everything I could do in that particular scenario. I will tell you that of the last four Skies of Albion that I have played, the Allies have won every time and handily. Alright, we took out 4 aerial targets. We assisted with 5 more. We captured a segment. We did 8,616 points of ground damage. Took out 1 ground target. Not bad. Okay. And team score, I came in number 1. And That's about all we can do. All right, so we will come back in and we will try this again. I'm just going to make this one very long video for New Year's Day so that you guys can enjoy it. Come in and out whenever you want to, and we'll take it from there. You'll see me upgrade the aircraft for the last time, and then we'll be working to get as many points as we can for the 109Z Zoing, or twin, I think is what that means. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I am not a native German speaker, and I'll be the first to admit it. But I think that's how it's pronounced. I was a sailor in the United States Navy. I did spend some time in Wilhelmshaven. By the way, German, when you see W's in German, it's pronounced with a V. So it's Wilhelmshaven, not Williamshaven, like you'd think it would be. But the Zoling, it's been an interesting fighter for me. Don't know much about it, except flying against it, which I've done a lot. And so I'm looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to finishing up the 410 and moving the German line along the way that it should be. I came into that line kind of late. So for a lot of you, this is old news, but hopefully you'll enjoy this. Especially if you're not feeling good after New Year's Eve. I just want to hang around the house and watch something. Hopefully this will be a good video for you. If it's too long, let me know that, or if it's something you're not enjoying, let me know that too. This is just an off-the-cuff thing by me to give you something to entertain you. And I hope you enjoy it. All right.
You are approaching the front line. Off we go.
Now, to me, the most important thing out here is this rocket base. And I may be wrong, and that's okay if I am. And there are two soft targets that I can attack here. And not use up my rockets. And that wasn't terribly successful. But I see we had a little more success with our rockets. Okay, so we're done with that. As soon as the rockets reload, we'll come back down and attempt to do it again. Now, I need to get some altitude, so we're going to burn up a little boost. Get back up to speed. And try to find the next victim. Now, getting up here and tussling around with single-engine fighters is not my idea of a good time, nor is it what the aircraft is particularly good at. But we'll continue on, and we'll continue to see if we can gain some height. Now, I notice the Spitfire is coming straight in. I don't even want to give him the chance. I'm up to the speed I belong at, or the altitude I belong at. Speed is not where I want to be, so we're going to boost a little bit. I'll come around here and see what we got. And here's the Spitfire. I'm not sure we got a single shell on them, but that's okay. Our teammates did, and that's all that matters. Alright, we have an IL-2. We may not be the most maneuverable thing in the sky, but by God, we got firepower and then some. You notice that IL-2 is essentially ruined now. And we want to kill every ground attack aircraft we can put hands onto, because I can most effectively kill the enemy's chances by destroying his ground attack fighters. He only gets 3 of these per instant, or until he hits the squall line. Sometimes you get 4, but not too often. That mosquito, I do not want to hang around. He is a direct threat to me in more ways than I can count. Boy, has he got firepower. Okay, we see some high flyers up there. Don't know what those are. Let's go ahead and use the alternate view. Remember, you can change that in your settings by putting the hold button next to the alternate setting. And it gives you a little more information, and which is kind of nice here. For instance, I do not like that Beaufighter. I don't like the Spitfire coming in on. And I don't like the fact I'm on fire. So we will see if we can change that. And that F4U-1 is one nice aircraft at this level. The F2G that you see at level 8, I still have some disagreements with, but that's okay. I guess I'm not the progenitor of the game, and they get their prerogatives. But if I had my druthers, they should replace that with the F6F Hellcat, or I'm sorry, the F8, 8F Bearcat. Faster aircraft, far more capable, and armed with cannon. Even nicer. Oh, now somebody shot my aircraft down before I could even get over there. Now you may notice I am not making any hurry to go rush over to the other aircraft, because I am not suicidal. And I have a feeling they're going to be back here soon enough anyway. Yep, here they come. There's that F4U that helped us out earlier. See if we can't return the favor. I'm trusting my rear gunner, which is a mistake, but I'm also maneuvering about as best that I can. That F4U-1 is a more agile aircraft than I am.
Enemy is launching rockets at us from the military base. Take action. Victory is in sight. Keep it up.
Oh, we'll have to wait till we respawn here. We shouldn't take too terribly long.
You're on your own.
We'll come back in, see what can be done. Now we have the squall line, so everything that dies here is permanent. We're going to try to get all the altitude we can get while I've got the opportunity. So we're going to skirt the edges of this which also has the effect of letting me let more reinforcements arrive. I'm sorry, heavy fighters are not something you want to continue to let live, and they are my natural prey in this fighter. Okay, now I'm going to beat feet. Get out of the way here. Try to slow down a little bit, but not with a lot of success. That bow fighter is going to try to get me. I'm going to try to dive and clean out of the way. Alright, that worked out. Going back to the hangar, we'll see what we did. If it doesn't crash again. Alright, we assisted with 5, we killed 5, we destroyed the ground target. Oops, sorry. Went a little faster than I intended. And team score, we did okay. Those single engine fighters really seem to be doing quite well. Okay. Let's take a look at the upgrades here. You can actually research this, pick up a little more speed. That was always nice. And this is now fully upgraded. And let's take a look at survivability with this. Yeah, 460. We picked up some there. We picked up a little speed here, and we're a little harder to set on fire thanks to that. And we'll go back to battle. I'm sure that 14 miles per hour will make all the difference in the world. And hopefully it won't take us too long to get into, get out of queue and into battle mode here. And everybody cross their fingers and hope that we don't crash again. There we go. This, by the way, is my drive for the Zwilling and then the 262, which I want to show you all before the end of the skies of Albion. We'll see how we how well we do with that. A lot of grinding. Okay, I'm a believer in getting all the air bases, all the points you can as quickly as you can. think my best role here is to defend my fellow aircraft by taking on the fighters. I don't believe that bow fighter is any better at maneuvering than I am, so we'll try to turn with him. And that's one fighter down. There's another one. And there's the third. And we have it. Alright, pressing 0 lets me increase my and decrease my view on my radar. I am not seeing anything yet. And this has just become a waste of time. I am not fighting multiple aircraft. Well, what the hell. Let's do it anyway. We've just destroyed their ability to repair. And I see he's taking out my rear gunner. Let's see if we can bring him back into action. We'll come back here and see if my pop gun can do anything. They can't. There are times when you miss your IL-8, and this is one of them. The thing I like about that IL-8 is it has a 20 millimeter sticking out the back, and I have a really good rear gunner. Alright, so anyway. Now, one of our fellow pilots decided that the other base is where we should have spent our time at, and I disagreed with it going in, but I tried to support the team, and most of them decided the heck with that. And I think they decided correctly, and I made the mistake. Cards on the table. That XFL-1, I guarantee you, is a better aircraft than I for dogfighting, but we'll make the attempt. If nothing else, we'll make sure that he hasn't got the hit points to feel nearly as adventurous. Okay, so we did something for our team there, kept the base. I feel like the better use of my time is to help them take the tack over here.
The enemy is launching rocket strikes on our complex. Try to neutralize the enemy military base.
And I want to get in range of that bow fighter before he hurts our teammate. And that takes care of that. We have an XFL way below us there. Hopefully he's not going to be able to pop up underneath me, but I'm making no guarantees here. Alright, we're going to slow down. Try to roll underneath him. Come back around. Do that business. And I got a P-38 on my tail. P-39 I should say. There's another bow fighter here. You definitely want to ensure that he's not going to be able to boom and zoom anybody here, because he darn sure will. Kashmir, one of the bots that you will see so often. I look forward to the day when we don't have so many bots.
Any longer. The storm is too heavy. Do you copy? Over.
Alright, so we have a P-39Q, which I was pretty sure had never been used by anything but the with the Soviets during their war. Folks, going head-to-head with a heavy fighter is just dumb. Unless you're in another heavy fighter and you're doing a lot of damage coming in. Alright, we deployed our first aid kit. So hopefully our shooting won't be so horrible. Alright, we're going to try to get up some speed. We are really hurting in the hit point department. It looks like somebody's on my tail here. I have not got a very good tail gunner. I'm hoping I can drive this guy off a little bit. And couldn't. I'm hoping that our teammates can do a good job and take back this base before it gets really bad. That's going to be a kind of a close one. Alright, we can actually see this when it's over. I'm going to go ahead and go back to the hangar. And I think we've done everything we can reasonably do there. And I have got the hankering here to change planes anyway. We are losing, but not by nearly as much as we have before. Let's go ahead and look at the details here. Just waiting for that. We did get defeated. Shot down 7 targets, assisted with 6 more, and captured 3 sectors. So, yeah, if you're waiting for an apology, you're not going to get one. I think I did what I could. All right. Time to change up a little. We'll take a look at what's available to us. That's the only thing left on this one is the engine upgrade. See, that makes much of a difference in speed, though typically it's not that much. Yeah, about 13 miles an hour. I'm sure that'll make all the difference in the world, right? This one is outfitted the way I prefer my ground attack fighters to be upgraded, which is the reinforced airframe, the improved covering 3, the turret stabilization 3, and the rear gunner has the quick reflexes. It gets him up to on target 50% faster. We'll talk about this a little bit. The next one will be to get the burst length up to, by 20%, and then my preferred upgrade is ballistic expert, which gives you a 15%. Remember, you're getting 15% from your stabilization here. You're getting 50%, another 15%, excuse me, here, and then you get 20% here, which 15 is going to be another 3%. So that kind of adds up, and that's very World of War games that you get these multiple deals going, which really start adding up after a while. On the pilot, I got on ground attack aircraft, I get the protection expert, and then I will typically get the bombing and demolition expert if they have much in the way of ordnance. Now the German planes quite often don't. The Soviet aircraft quite often will carry all sorts of ordnance. And this is just an attempt at entertaining and enlightening a little bit and having some fun with aircraft. So this is the longest video I've ever done. And if it's appealing to you, let me know. If it's not, let me know that too. And we'll take it from there. But so we'll go with this one for a few times, and then we'll move on to something else in an effort to entertain both myself and you. And it's telling me the average time in queue is 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Maybe it will be a little quicker. We were last time. The difference between this and the Hornet is that this one actually got a tail stinger that actually hurts. And if I can get that rear pilot, or rear gunner up to speed, it will really hurt. Now, the additions to all the effect of all those additions I put on was this aircraft is running about 1,150 survival points, if memory serves me correctly. And we're back to the same map. Oh, joy.
Cover your allies. Hit the enemy, and we shall win.
If somebody calls for it to take the airbase on the northern side again, I'm going to ignore it. Just stating that up front. I think that was a huge mistake last time. Now this aircraft is also a little different from most ground attack aircraft, and it's a lot more nimble than you would think, and it's able to do at least some heavy fighter work, and I will often use it that way. I've not gone insane, but against other ground attack aircraft and sometimes heavy fighters, I will go nose to nose with them. I will try to maneuver with them a little bit, and the reason is because I can. The Hornet is one of them that I'll go after because it's no more maneuverable than I am, and I have a quite a heavy gun load
Pilots, get ready
in front of
for
me too.
action. Let's go.
So we're going to go ahead and try to get these points. As I stress in every game, because I see the mistakes made so often, you are going to want to grab all the caps you can as early as you can and hold on to them for as long as you can. Alright, while you're coming around, why not take out an anti-aircraft position or two and make your life a little easier, right? And that is our second air base, our second ground target taken out. And there are 4 anti-aircraft positions that will not be bothering us anymore while we attempt to murder every ground target in sight. I don't know if I did that solo, but if I didn't, I came darn close to it. Now you notice I am not going to head for that base again. Instead, I will try to help my comrades. To the degree that I can. Now, every 50 seconds you get a new bomb load if you get rid of both of your bombs. So do not hold on to bombs. At least you have a very good reason for doing so. Remember that you have a tail stinger that actually stings pretty hard. I believe it's about 109 DPS on it. So if you get some very adventurous single engine fighter on your tail, you can dissuade or destroy him pretty quickly. Now, we're going to do what damage we can here. Oops. And then I'm going to run up on this control base and drop both bombs. Lift a wing to get out of the way. And there's 2,000 points and a quarter of the...
Military base is launching strikes on the enemy. This will make things easier for you.
Alright, remember what I said in earlier videos about making sure that you take out all the heavy targets that you hit as best you can. And that just got us the airbase. And also stops the defending fighters from eating me alive, which is an even nicer thing. Okay, we're going to move on. Notice I already have bombs back. This is my personal view that a ground attack aircraft that's not attacking ground targets is wasting everybody's time and costing the team. So we're going to go after that next. Notice all this is going on while everybody squabbles over the middle. Let's turn that on. Now Mr. Yak wants to... Yeah, you got me. Alright. Alright. We will attempt to take something in the center position. We'll see if we can get some help from our fellow pilots. We'll stay low to stay out of everybody's temptation range as long as we can.
Hang in there. You'll soon be cut off from support. I say again, support will not be available.
Remember that you will not have just all sorts of time to hang over in these situations. You have a very limited life expectancy. So we're going to try to make the most use of our time that we can here.
We cannot support you any longer. The storm is too heavy.
And when I die this time, that's going to be it. Okay, so that was helpful. And we're going to stop firing, because that's not helpful anymore. Alright, we'll come up the rim wall.
A large enemy force is attacking the military base. Proceed with caution.
And try to take this back and try to recover all these points that we're missing now.
They've almost got us.
Alright, if we can get just a... There we go. That's what it took. Alright, well, we're gaining, but we have 120 points to get back. And so we're going to have to take something else. They have all this lovely boost, and we will try, though we're probably, in fact, I almost certainly beyond helping out here. But we'll try.
Almost all enemy aircraft are destroyed.
Oh, that might work.
Great job today. We'll be waiting for you back home.
Alright, well, that's something about sheer tenacity winning over poor tactics, I think. I was saying earlier, in the skies of Albion that we have. I've participated in 4 of these now. This has been the 4th one. The Allies have won it every time. Let's see if we can't reverse that just for the interest of fairness. We destroyed 10 ground targets, did 40,000 points worth of damage, almost 41, and captured 4 sectors. So I felt like we really contributed to the victory. We're riding somebody else's coattails. And we actually are not far off from being able to turn this. We'll do this at least one more time, maybe 2. Give it a try. Give you all a long video to watch on New Year's Day for those who get tired of the parades and other stuff you don't want to see. Well, you can watch World of Warplanes. God knows every time somebody brings up the Macy Day parade or some of the other stuff that I see, I just want to go run to the bathroom and heave or something. Nothing against Macy's, just not a big fan of parades. Personally, I've always found it about as entertaining as watching paint dry. It also goes to saying, make sure that you never give up on your team. If you got any hope whatsoever of victory, I would have thought that one for sure was a loss.
You are approaching the area of combat operations. Be ready.
Okay, we'll want the command center. I imagine my fighter teammates will rush over to the airbase. And then if I'm a smart man, I will try to sneak around and take the other command base if I can. So that's the strategy. Clausewitz said, Clausewitz said that pilots seldom survive contact with the enemy.
Show me what you can do, pilots. Let's roll.
Since I got boosts and all sorts of time that I want to waste trying to get around to the other airbase, I want to take advantage of the boost and get up to some speed here. And I got up to so much speed that I overshot my target. And that's okay. We always come back for it. Lets me make sure that I adequately addressed my ground target. While I'm at this, I might as well take out a few. There we go. Ooh. Really thought we got the job done there. Alright, now let's see what we can do. Now let's try not to die. Let's see if we can find... That did it. Alright. Now those nasty defense aircraft can go away and spawn to something that's actually helpful.
Attention all fighters. Enemy bombers detected. Destroy them.
I know I have no hopes of catching those bombers, so don't get your hopes up. But I am trying to get over to where I can attack the enemy command center. My hope is that between being distracted by our bombers and the fighters that want to squabble over the center, that we can actually just deal with the ground attack fighters. Now, I'm always the one that's crying about not getting support, so we will ask for help. And I see somebody's coming up behind me. And I don't think he has good intentions. And he decides to beat feet. No, he doesn't, but that doesn't stop mattering too. Okay. So, we have 3 sites here that we want to take care of, and hopefully I'll survive long enough to at least really damage one of them. And we won't. Now again, I will point out, had we a single fighter supported me, I could have got in there and helped. And it is not a good idea to sit there and go after bombers when this base is going to endlessly regenerate them. We'll try again. We're going to go after a near base after that last debacle, because I am not certain that I'm going to last long enough to
Receiving reports about rapidly deteriorating weather conditions. Support will be unable to reach you. Do you read me? Over.
It's going to be a long wait for the very short time it normally takes to get your bombs back. Now you see that we left some soft targets here, and the base isn't really yours until you take them out. Now we've done them some damage. Let's see if I've got a fighter on my tail, and I do. can only spend a very short amount of time back here before I have to go and worry about my bombs. Again, taken out by fighters, but we got the job done. That's all that really matters. Now, if you start looking at this has been going on all night with the skies of Albion. So we will come back and pop into it. I will tell you, being 300 points down does not help. It's very unlikely, unless we capture the other 2 points, that we could win. I will state again, when you let your ground attack aircraft all die for lack of support, you are down to having to destroy every single fighter on the other side to win.
Receiving reports about rapidly deteriorating weather conditions. Support will be unable to reach you. Do you read me? Over. Step it up. We're losing the battle. Attention. You are entering the zone.
Alright, let's take a look at the alt. Yeah. That helped a lot, but it's not going to make enough difference. So this can be put down to lack of ground support. If we'd had a couple of fighters that were heads up and being aware of what was going on, in fact, I sent out, hey, I'm trying to take this base. And in the second attempt, we had a couple of people show up. So we took it, but we took it way too late. If they'd done it in the first attempt, we would have had the time to get this done. So, it is a game of caps. You got to play it like a game of caps. Don't get suckered into mindlessly fighting other fighters, especially if you're not over a cap doing it, or there's over a cap you can't capture, or there's not ground attack aircraft you're trying to support. There's got to be a reason you're there. You know, otherwise you may be the guy that wins, and you may be number one on your team with all these points. All these fighters shot down, but it's not going to make any difference in whether you win or lose. You're just a very talented pilot who's doing the wrong thing. Okay, so we destroyed 4 ground sites. We did 21,000 points, and got 125 capture points. So we didn't do badly in there, but we could have done so much better. Really was a bit of a waste there, wasn't it? And mind you, we're fighting for something now. Okay? Every time we win, you get 2 more boxes at the end of this event. And so, you know, when our Axis teammates don't do well, some of our viewers saying, and while that might be, but the idea here is to win, not lose. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and try to find something else to play, and then this will be the last video because I fear that it's going to get rather boring. So let's take something that will be fun. We can get a KI-94 at 8 or an AM-7. AM-7, something that actually turns, burns, and it's got a bit of a bite to it. I do get questions about flying with me. Any subscriber is more than welcome to fly with me. I'm going to state this so that you don't know, and I don't have to repeat it over and over again. I run this channel as PG only. So if you do fly with me and you got a microphone, you're more than welcome to come in, fly with me, make your own observations. I'm perfectly fine with that, but don't come in and start cussing. Okay, there's nothing like 20, 30, 40 minutes spent processing it here, a lot of cussing, and then I have to can the video. Because the channel is supposed to be fun family entertainment. I want you to feel comfortable that your kids can watch it. Granny can watch you play over your shoulder. Don't watch you watch this over your shoulder and know it's going to be saying, he said what? So we try to make this available to the widest audience, and trust me, I'm an ex-sailor. My language can get plenty salty, but though I really want to keep this family entertainment. So if you do fly with me, watch the language, be careful. I understand it gets frustrating, get blown up by Joe Schmo the 14th time because he got a better aircraft, and it is frustrating. I go through it every day. But, let's just do a gosh darn instead of something else, or cheese and crackers, or whatever your favorite behavior in front of your grandmother is when you don't want to cuss. Okay. Other than that, I don't turn down subscribers. I think it's a blast to have my subscribers in the videos with me. Have a lot of fun talking to them while we do it. And it brings another aspect to the video that sometimes people enjoy that. Juan Martinez is in there constantly, also known as Dave Down Under. Just enjoy the heck out of that guy. A lot of fun to play with. Alright, I'd sure like to know where the enemy is here. There we go. Finally, something I can turn and burn with. It's a new and unique experience after all that ground attack stuff.
Enemy bombers inbound. Don't let them reach their target.
Oh boy. Alright, I'm going to go over and help my teammates capture the airbase. Well, maybe not. There's ground attack fighter. I strongly believe in supporting my ground attack fighters. And I believe that A-26 is out of my reach. So we'll stay behind my ground attack fighter and try to help him out. And I see not one but two IL-2Ts. Coming in high too. Wow. Okay, you do overheat and you do not want to stay behind and waiting for your guns to recharge, so don't. There's absolutely no reason to get shot up waiting for guns to recharge. And I believe we have more aircraft coming in. Yeah, okay. Obviously, we captured the air base. It doesn't give you a choice now. Alright, if he's going to put bombers right out in front of me like that, I am going to take a minute and shoot down a couple. Yep, won't get there in time to make a difference. Okay, so I'll take care of one of those. And we'll wait. Our clips are totally cooled down now, so we should be able to enjoy that. Let's go ahead and take out the other. Now you notice how slow I'm going, and that's because I am just way over my altitude. When it turns red like that, you need to go find something else to do. And I see not one but two air defense aircraft trying to kill my ground attack aircraft. And I want to support my ground attack aircraft because they keep me alive. They help me win the game. And I would very much like to win this game. Though so far my marksmanship leaves very much to be desired. Finally. Alright, I want to get in with that P-40 and see if I can actually shoot this time. Yes. Alright, while I'm down here, let's help out your teammates here a little bit. Let's go ahead and fill the gun. Make sure there's no other aircraft around.
Be advised, a line of thunderstorms is approaching. We'll soon be unable to provide support. Do you copy? Over. They've almost got us.
And we have enemy aircraft. Woo! That P-39 hit me with one of those 37mm shells, I can guarantee it. Alright, we're going to change out aircraft because I think I can add more if I can actually attack a ground base. So we'll try that.
That's it. There's no way to break through for you now. You're on your own.
That was probably a horrible mistake because of the number of aircraft that are down there, but enemy aircraft that are down there, but we'll try. This game is lost to us because of enemy taking so many captures. What we're looking for here is things that haven't been...
Attention all aircraft. Fall back and regroup.
Yeah. That's a little disturbing. We could have done better. Of course, that Ju-88's got nothing but a pair of guns, and or a gun. So it's not the most efficient of ground attack aircraft. Those of you who want to see my rants on the Ju-87 and Ju-88, I do have videos for that. Okay, so we destroyed 3 aerial targets. We didn't have enough time to do anything with the ground attack aircraft, but there we go. All right, folks, I hope you enjoyed this New Year's Eve special, or New Year's Day special, I should say. If you liked the video, tell me about it. If you don't like the video, tell me about that too. If there's something I could do to make it better, this went on too long because this is the longest video I've ever done, then let me know, how could I make it better? Is it something you enjoyed? No, it went on too long. Tiro, let's go do something else. You can also email me if you don't want to put something in public, and I understand that quite well. You can reach me at jlong135@verizon.net, and you can say whatever you want to say there. I try to respond to everybody, and I will get back to you. All right. So, that being the case, you can see me tomorrow, and I always use more subscriptions, people. I surely do need them. Thank you very much, and have a great day.